This is Gray Matter, the official podcast from Jacob Gray Firearms. Here we go beyond the machines, past the billet and blueprints, to explore the people, ideas, and innovation shaping the world of precision engineering. From design and craftsmanship to mindset and performance, every episode dives into what it takes to build products and lives defined by excellence. This isn't just about firearms, it's about the pursuit of precision, discipline, and purpose in everything we do. Welcome to Gray Matter, where engineering meets intellect and where every conversation is forged in precision.
Today, I'm just bringing you guys on. This is TRT Kingdom. This is episode 1 of Jacob Gray podcast with Todd. Jake was out of the office today, so you guys get to hang out with me for the next half hour or so. And we've been working on this for a couple of months now, or 6 months.
The end of May, I believe.
Yeah, so 6 months in the making, and we're just going to go kind of through, the Jacob Gray brand real quick for the TRT folks, and then the TRT for the Jacob Gray folks, and see if we can tie in some discussion questions just to why would you need and what is TRT and why would you need it kind of thing. So, first of all, Jacob Gray is a, top of the line 1911 double stack company in the industry. Probably one of the fastest growing companies out there right now. We just launched a new gun called the Neice 9, and it has taken the world by storm, and my marketing and customer service team are super busy this week from the last couple of weeks. So we're pretty excited about it. We're here in South Carolina and have a full machine shop. You guys have had the luxury to be able to get through our machine shop and see what we do on the aerospace side. And our goal is to give customers the experience that they deserve when they spend hard-earned money. And we are in a niche market where we kind of find those guys that that have done well or have a really big passion for the firearm space, and they're willing to spend a good chunk of money on that lifestyle that they have. And we get the blessings of that. So we're super blessed as a company, and that's just kind of where Jacob Gray sits as of today. But I'd like to talk a little bit more about the TRT world. So who is TRT? What is TRT Kingdom? What's the kingdom mean? Let's just start kind of, where's this come from, and what's involved, and why do we want to push this out to the world to allow people to know it exists, and how can it help them?
Yeah. First off, thanks for having us. I feel like I'm with a celebrity here
No
with
problem.
the videos you've had. You're handsome, and all the videos you got flying drones through your building. So definitely thank you. Brice, Director of Operations. I got Jason Lyle. He's the Director of Business Development. So through this partnership that we saw, I know Jason first met with Jacob Gray himself and was like, hey, there's something to this guy that we want to be a part of. And so kind of getting the story from him was great to hear, like, hey, customer service was big. If something happens, warranty, fix it. He's always picking up the phone himself, and he's his name's on the gun. So that's awesome. And that's kind of how Jay is. So Jay will respond to a text, like Jay Cutler, who's the owner of TRT Kingdom. If you text him, he'll respond. And it's like, he's got a genuine answer.
Real quick, just so everybody knows, Jay Cutler, we're talking about the real Jay Cutler here. Okay? 4-time Mr. Olympia.
Yep.
Jay Cutler, the GOAT, the best.
The guy.
The
man.
guy.
Okay.
Yes, the guy.
So Jay Cutler has his hand in the business.
Yes.
He's one of the ownership.
Yes, sir.
And so he's got his hand in it. But I don't know that this is specific to the bodybuilding world, right? Like, this is not a company that's specific for guys like specifically to Jay. He just happens to have a love for human health, right? Or health in the body for men and women.
Correct. Yeah, and he'll openly talk to you about it if you see him at a show. He's at the space in his life where health is most important. So a lot of what he's doing is providing affordable care with the best customer service, with health in mind, whether it be fertility, sexual health, peptides, skin, hair, acne, hormone health. Like, we have a very wide catalog, and this isn't just meant for like, oh, you're a bodybuilder, want to compete. It's not for that. But if you do need labs and you need a provider who understands, what you're going on in health, then for sure come. And so to answer your question originally, TRT Kingdom came along from our owners, which is Kevin DeHaven, Levi Barbie, and Jay Cutler. So Levi, Barbie, and Kevin DeHaven, they own another clinic called Premier Hormone Health. So there was talks about bringing Jay on at one point. I think Jay kind of wanted to, if he was going to do this, he wanted it to be his own. So they got together and decided to spin up TRT Kingdom.
Okay.
Obviously, the Kingdom comes from Jay Cutler's, 4X. If you look at Cutler Nutrition, they have the crown. So TRT Kingdom made sense. They spun it up. We started January 27th of this year, 2025. And we've been growing rapidly and successful. We got, TRT Nation Transcend. They're changing some things up. We're here to stay. We're growing rapidly. And so now this is the point where, who makes sense to be with us. We're not going after the bodybuilders and everybody who sits on the camera and talks about the same stuff. It's trying to find the partnerships that matter. I'm a gun enthusiast, come from military, law enforcement background, train people. Mr. Lyles here shoots guns regularly. A bunch of us are military who are on the team. And so it's that reaching out to help people. And also, we also believe that people should be able to equip themselves to defend themselves and, feel their best and feel safe. And so these two markets kind of meet up, and there may be people who do counter interact with it, but there's also two sides of the corner, same demographics. Like let's meet in the middle and share this and share
Well, I
what we
think
have.
some of it is that you look at the, bodybuilder world, and that is a small percentage of the population that we live in, right? Like, I know, with us before I even met Jason, I had, I'm 44, and a lot of guys at that late 30s, you start to hit the 40 mark, you get into the late 40s, you start to lose that energy, you start to lose that desire to do things, and sometimes you don't know why. And if you've never been exposed to it, a lot of times it's like, I go to the gym, right? I'm at the gym all the time. I've been through the gym whole world and done the thing. And I'm not a bodybuilder, but I need TRT Kingdom, right? Like,
Yeah.
then that population is so big for people, but it's kind of a scary thing, right? Like, whenever the first guy walked up to me and was like, "Man, do you know what testosterone is?" And I'm like, "I have no idea. That sounds scary. What is it?" And, after I realized it, did some research on it, understood what it was, and then went and got some labs done and was like, man, my levels are not where they need to be. No wonder I don't feel good, or no wonder I can't build muscle. No wonder I can't feel like I want to. I think that's the real exposure for the TRT world. And everybody out there watching, you guys have drove down your street, you see a men's clinic, TRT this, or testosterone testing for this, and it's kind of a new thing, but people are getting more they're getting more familiar with it, and I think maybe more comfortable with it. Spend a couple of minutes and tell me, why should I drive past the 5 of them that I seen in my local area to go to like a TRT Kingdom? What do you guys bring to the people, or bring to us? I say us because I am a customer of you guys. I'm a partner of you. Explain the differences that you guys bring to the table for someone to go, I like that. That makes me want to put my hope and faith in my health and my body into a company like TRT Kingdom. And, what sets you guys apart?
Yeah. And too easy. So I want to backpedal real quick because you are accurate with, health, men and women's. A lot of times it's, hey, I'm getting older, just slowing down. It is what it is. So we have a thing that we push, especially on social media, where it's defy mediocrity. Like, don't accept that. That's not true. There is more to life. You have the 4-year-old, 11-year-old that you can get in the yard with after work. We all work long days. We're all tired. Like, don't accept that. At least get it checked out and look, and we can even provide just labs and a provider, and you don't have to move forward.
Right.
But to answer your original question, yeah, you can go local, and that's great if you want to support local businesses. We also do the same. We will help outside of that, but with it, you're going to have to leave work. You're probably going to have to do daily injections or weekly injections. You have to drive location to get injected on site.
Yep.
So that's going to be, going before work or traffic or trying to take lunch and squeezing it in there, and it gets hassled, but we can get it to your door. So we're licensed in all 50 states. Providers are licensed. Everything is, legal, FDA approved, coming from a compound pharmacy to your door. Okay. So all of this is quicker, easier. We give you the tools, the solutions, the education to be able to inject yourself. If not, another benefit is we have a 24/7 line, text line, phone call, consultations. We provide you a medical team with an RN, patient advocate, provider included. So that's one of the benefits. You always be able to contact us. You're going to be able to get access to all your stuff. And then we're also providing a platform. So if you come to us, you might get education on, maybe I am on GLP-1s, so what do meals need to look like? Well, we partner with MegaFit. MegaFit
Yeah.
Meals offers, a good portion size where you can understand, like, this is what 450 calories looks like.
Right.
With 40 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbs. Like, I now can understand, like, what this fist size thing is doing.
Yeah.
So, like, we offer that. We have stuff with different coaches and groups and, apps that can help you. And we're going to continue to grow as we partner further. So, like, that's just another benefit to the communication, the care, the service, direct to your door. We're always here.
Okay.
And one thing that I've always noticed is if you go somewhere and get things done, that comes with a price, right?
Yep.
So if it's not money, it's time. And if you're like me and you live in the country, you don't want to have to drive all the way to the city to go get 2 injections a week, right? We mail it straight to your front door. Okay. There's instructions on how to do this stuff. Me personally, I've got a whole list of patients that call me anytime. Hey, Jason, guy called me the other day. Whenever we send peptides out, okay, let's say tesamorelin, for instance, there's a big 10 milliliter syringe and needle that you put the bacteriostatic water down in the formula and you mix it up. And he called me and he said, man, what do I do with this big giant needle? I'm scared to death.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, I've been doing this for 20 years. I never would stick that in my leg, And so I'm thinking, well, like, it puts yourself in a place where you see how people really think when it comes to doing this. And, there's a few things that really hold people back. Okay. Number one is they always think that they can't afford it. All right. That's kind of why Jay wanted to start this thing. He got tired of seeing clinics rip people off for an affordable service. So number one, yes, we are affordable, very affordable.
Is this covered by insurance? Is there ever insurance coverage on any of this, or has it got to be like a really special?
So if you have HSA, FSA, we could take it.
Okay.
And if your insurance will allow for the labs, we can provide the provider's note for you to be able to get that done. Insurance cover it. But generally, no, just for the fact that insurance is going to limit what could be done, certain insurances. So if you're like, hey, I need this, insurance is like, well, we're only going to approve this dose, but that doesn't mean you're truly being optimized. Like, what are you telling us? What worked for you? That's optimization. We're not going to be bound by some legal constraint or insurance constraint that's saying like, well, your levels with this, we can only approve for this, which is where you get stuck at with a lot of those people.
Because normal levels on lab work is what, 280?
Yeah, 300, 900.
Yeah. Let's say 300 to 900. That's a pretty broad range, So you can't sit here and say that the guy that's a 300 testosterone level
is going to feel good.
And is optimized.
Right.
And then a lot of people are putting, a lot of providers, they put people on 1 injection every 2 weeks. Half-life on testosterone cypionate's 12 days. So that's 14 days. By the time they do their second injection,
they're out already.
They're already out.
Yep.
And they're feeling like crap again. So insurance companies make it very hard to cover testosterone.
Well, they go. It's like saying that somebody with if you're 6 foot tall and you're 220 pounds, you're overweight without knowing how tall you are or how much bone density you have. So it's like one of those things. So, so one of the big things that we do at Jacob Gray is like customer service is what I've built the world on, right? Like we built it. My team, my marketing team, my customer service team, like we've made a conscious decision to go over and above to make sure people are comfortable in every situation when they're doing something with Jacob Gray, no matter if it's you buying something or you had an issue with something or you're looking for an answer for something. Like our goal is always to say, hey man, you're part of our family and we want you to feel that way through the way. And I think you guys do a really good job at the TRT, through the TRT system. My wife and I are in the system. So like I get the random text or, Catherine's calling to ask me if I'm doing okay kind of thing. And I think that that's one thing that you kind of, when you aren't a storefront in a community, you may feel like, oh, what am I doing on the internet? Like, I'm not really sure. I promise you guys, these guys at TRT are on the up and up. All the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, because I have seen the other side, the dark side, right? The dark side of what the heck did I just order, and is it coming, and
Right.
should I be okay with this? And that's just that's just what I've dealt with. But I feel always like you guys care about how I'm feeling. You care how my development is, and if there's something that needs to be changed, we're not scared to make changes, right? With the MDs, we got MDs on staff all day long. They're always checking charts and numbers and hey man, what could we do if I want to feel this way, or I just wish I could do this. And there's always another way of doing I guess a better or what I'm gonna say, like another formula or different things you could take, right? So that is that's one of the things that we want to make sure.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say, Todd, based on what your goals are.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say you want to lose weight.
Right.
Okay. Let's say you want to get to a good starting point. We have so many different options that can get you to your starting point, to where then you look in the mirror and you say, man, I'd really like to pack on an extra 15 pounds. I know I just lost 20 pounds of fat, but what would 15 pounds of muscle look like? So based off of your goals, we have so many things that we can do to help you get there. And we're going to help you with the research too. I've got, like I said, you call in and you talk to me, you're going to talk to a guy that's taken everything that we offer in our catalog.
Yeah.
I've taken everything, and I can tell you what IGF does. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but I've seen firsthand what it does to my body. Tessamorelin, I know exactly what it's done. I gained 15 pounds and lost 2 sizes in my pants. How does that happen? So there's just so many different things that we offer that we can help you make the right decisions whenever it comes down. And if you're on a budget, we can accommodate your budget with different things other than, the Tessamorelin package, whatever it is you're looking to do.
Exactly. Right. And we'll always look to treat the individual like Jason's mentioned, and you call in, we can help, kind of educate you or guide you along the way and get you to the provider who will kind of seek the right answer and do it based off the labs and get the right way that we're going to get you the correct optimization and vitality. So, yeah.
So this is something that is men and women, right?
Oh,
like
yes.
We talked a little bit about it earlier as kind of just getting into it, but this is men and women, not just men who want to, go to the gym and become this, hard Hulk dude, right? Like this is for the women's side of it as well.
Yeah.
How do we, I want to do 2 things. I want to talk a little bit about the women's side because I want to make sure we cover that. In the firearms space, we're exposed to more women than most people think. Calling in and owning our firearms and things like that. So
women are better shooters than men.
Only if you shoot against them.
Well, and I'm the manliest man that I know.
Wow.
So
that's impressive.
My wife can outshoot me.
The reason for that is because they don't have bad habits, and we suck at shooting because we have bad.
That's
habits.
exactly.
And he goes.
We shot this weekend and showed them that with our CEO's wife, was able to kind of get her dialed in real quick. We're trying to defeat some things that Papa showed you in the field one day, that you get that flinch in the recoil and you immediately revert back to that grip. It's like, well, hold on now.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely agree. But to go where you are heading, we just came from a show in Charlotte on Saturday, and that's the big thing. That's the big thing is female health is huge, and what we find through Reddit posts and Facebook forums, and like my wife just had a 3-month-old, so she sees it, and it's just like hormone health and what they're dealing with is just it's a void. It needs to be corrected. And so with that, we can treat, menopause, perimenopausal, postpartum. There's even females that we talked to at the show where they're coming up and like, hey, I'm competing, and I'm like, we can help you get labs. And they're like, yeah, it'd be great, but like, what else could we do? And I'm like, well, you've depleted yourself. Your body fat is super low, which is not normal for women. Like, you're probably going to skip your cycle for the next 3-4 months. And they look at me like, yeah. I'm like, so we can 6 weeks in, get these labs and look at what your estradiol is doing and your progesterone's doing, and we could probably help you. And if it's not through hormone health, it could just be through a series of like vitamins and over-the-counter stuff to help guide you to get your body what it needs to start becoming regular again.
Right.
And a lot of these females we talk to, like, yeah, I'm about to get into trying to have a baby in the next 2 years, and it's like, yeah, we can help with that.
Yeah.
And even men's testosterone, to get into the men's side, like on average, what we're seeing from 20 years ago is we're a lot lower.
Right.
And there's a lot more IVF floating around. And is it men or is it women? Like, we can help look at LH and FSH in a male's body and start to understand, like, hey, you probably are going to have a harder time reproducing. There's things that we can do to help your body wake up essentially. And the
Right.
doctors are really great about looking at numbers, especially females. And it is hard. TRT Kingdom, you got Jay Cutler, 4-time Mr. Olympia on the
Yeah.
thing. Most women aren't going to look at that and be like, oh, this is a place
That's
for
what I
me.
wanted. Yeah.
They're going to click away. But it's like, hey, we are here and we're trying to get these affiliates and partners that are, females to tell our story so we can let them know, like, hey, we do treat all these things. We're here to listen.
Right.
Like your OBGYN and your PCP, they didn't hear you and you feel lost. We're here.
Right.
Like we'll listen. Like come talk to us. And if it's not hormones or needles, we can help find a way. And a lot of it could be nutrition too, which is mainly is hormonal, but we can try to help guide that and get them answers they're looking for and feel heard.
Yeah.
We love women so much that most of our providers are women.
That it actually is true. We have 2 providers that are female on staff.
Okay.
So that is true. We have and most
But
of the times they get them.
they also bring a good background of what they know about the women
Yeah.
side of things too. So we're not just getting the women that are coming to us aren't just getting a men's perspective, right? Like
Oh,
they're
exactly.
getting a woman's perspective of what would be best for that particular
Yeah,
person.
women's hormones are way more complicated than ours.
You think they make books about that?
I
Have
don't
you
know.
read it?
I've never read a book
Is it a computer or a book?
on a computer. I can read a menu. That's about all I need.
My God, this kid. Okay, so there's one big thing that I want to talk about that's probably the most popular thing in the United States right now, and that's the the shot or the GLP-1 or whatever everybody ends up calling it. It works.
Yes.
There's a lot of stigma in and out around it of is it good for you or not. I did it. I started it in January when you met me. Well, you didn't meet me in January. When I was in
May.
in January, I was 281 pounds,
I've seen the pictures.
and I actually look back on those pictures, and I'm like, Laura, my wife, Laura, why did you let my eyes look like they were about to get bulged out of my head because I had fat around? Dude, I lost 2 head sizes in my hat in the
Wow,
last 6
Crazy.
I tipped the scale. I think my best weight, and I say my best weight is general. I don't care about my weight, but the most weight that I had dropped was I was down to 218 about 6 weeks ago.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
I went from 281 to 218 in just over 8 months. It works. What it does is mentally tell you to stop eating because you don't need as much as you think you do. But
Right.
the world tells us we need to eat 1,000 calories a minute, right?
Yeah.
Speak to kind of the this is kind of our first podcast doing it together, so I don't want to get too in the weeds of the science behind it, but like speak to the why it's good, why it's okay, why people do it. And obviously I can tell you from my body feel, my knees don't hurt, my legs feel better, I can move, I can stretch, I can do things that I didn't do before, and I feel better every day. But what is the perspective from a company that actually offers the system to make people feel better? Give me a little bit about that. Give me some insight.
Yeah.
Some industry insight on why it's good.
And so it does it, obviously they have the name brand variants. It's really good at suppressing appetite control, and then also allowing the like reconversion so you can lose visceral fat. So with it though, you still do need to eat healthy and have the smart choices and do your part, which that can also be kind of
We call that change your ways.
change
right?
your ways, which
It's
this
easy.
helps you do. This helps you start to realize, like you mentioned, like, oh, I don't need to eat a calorie every single second.
Right.
Because some people they go to work and it's like, what'd you eat today? And it's potato chips and peanut M&Ms, and it's like, well, that's not what you should have eaten.
Yeah.
And a lot of that will be like, I'm not as hungry, or I'm not craving that food, or a lot, fatty foods I'm not craving. And there are, nutritional guidelines on GLP-1 foods that do have less sugars, and the carbs might be, more solid carbs that aren't going to be super sugar based.
That's right.
And so, one of the things why we partnered with MegaFit was to be able to show that example, like I mentioned earlier. And then through that, it's to also guide you, like, hey, this is what it's supposed to look like. Your body, you use this as a correction, essentially.
Right.
Don't try to live on it. That's what most people do is they take that shot and they think it's the wonder drug, and then they just go continue living their life, and they've lost the weight and they're eating what they want and they're losing the weight, and then you have to have balance. So you
Right.
need to probably come off it, let your body naturalize again. But
That's
it
my
is
largest recommendation to anybody listening is if you do it, strategically put a plan together
Yes.
through the 6 to 8 months while
Okay.
you're feeling this loss to go, okay, when I don't want to take it anymore or I hit my goal, I need to live the way that I feel right now with the mentality, because the whatever it is, Ozempic or whatever you end up taking, or the compound that you take, it's training your mind to say, I don't need that right now. I can go a half a day without needing to eat. Now, if you're trying to do competitions or something like that, you can't do that, right? Like you got to have fuel for your
Yep,
body. But
exactly.
if you're overweight and you're trying to go, I walked in one day and my wife was like, "Man, you ain't ate nothing for a while." I'm like, "Yeah, I did a little bit ago. I ate a Big Mac from 8th grade, and it was stuck around my belly." Right? Like those are the things that, and that's really it's like let your body get eaten. Of all the bad decisions I made for 35 years, let my body eat itself for a while, and then but no, the reason it's happening is because the medicine is telling my mind to slow down. It's okay. Your digestive tract slows down
Exactly.
too, right? So you're not constantly wanting food in your belly because you're not hungry.
Yeah.
But it works. It's it's a good thing. Are there negatives to it from science? What are the negatives you guys see, or is there negatives to it that we could help alleviate some of the wonder in guys out there right now, or ladies out there that, man, I'd love to do it, but I've never heard anything good or bad, or what the bad is, if there is any. What is that around there?
And most of what the negatives that we see are the people who don't ever get off of it. They think this is the new way of life and they're just going to take the shot. And it's like, no, like there's phases and you titrate up and then you titrate back down to allow your body to start to reprogram itself. You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. So you'll phase up, titrate up, and then titrate back down so your body can renormalize. And it's meant for you to do that learning lesson. Most of what you see is like the overusage, and they're increasing and increasing and increasing, and they get to like a max dosage, and then they're living on it, and then they're increasing it further, and it's just like, what is your body doing now? I'm sure it's going to build up
Rejecting.
gallstones
Yeah,
or all those crazy things that you hear about. And so it is meant for it to be educational, for it to teach you and help guide you,
Right.
to let you know what optimal is supposed to be for you. Now, people, don't get me wrong, people can take it and have reactions to nausea. That's common, and a lot of times it could be maybe it's got B12 in it or
I do that
B6.
to Taco Bell.
Well, I've ate too much of the buffet and got nauseous
Got
too.
nauseous,
Yeah.
or a little bubbly down there.
And
Yeah.
fatter.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
And if that would ever be the case, maybe it's not super serious of nausea. Like our providers would be like, hey, we can try Zofran to help the nausea.
right,
So if you do want to try to keep pushing on this, or we do have a different GLP-1 variant
right.
that maybe your body will tolerate, that won't give you that nausea, we can try, X, Y, and Z. Another great thing is if you do titrate off successfully, there's things that you could do like L-carnitine, which I know people think is like, a powder supplement or a liquid in the bottle. Like, no, there's injectable L-carnitine,
Right.
and it serves a purpose. And like you taking it 1 to 2 times a week will actually help your metabolism and help your body to use visceral fat for fuel. And it's super cost effective. And there's simple things that our doctors can guide you and show you studies, and even just patients themselves who have told us the stories, and they're posting on our reviews, and then, like they're letting them know, like, hey, this did work. Like, there's things that we can look at: B12,
Yeah.
lipo B, lipo C, L-carnitine. So,
And so Brice is basically what he's doing here. He's touching on all the reasons we make sense over an in-town hormone clinic is because he said you get with a provider. Once your body starts, if your body starts telling you that something's not right, you don't have to call and wait a week for an appointment. You call, and 9 times out of 10, we're able to get you back on with a provider that same day,
same day.
or the next day. So that's another reason. If your body's telling you something's not right, then we get it addressed, and we can do that pretty much immediately.
That sounds good. That's that customer service that we talk about,
Right.
right? Like the instantaneous, almost like app at your fingertips with a human on the other end, not a call center in Indiana
Exactly.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Email only.
So the GLP-1 is very popular. You were talking about doing the up ramp and the down ramp, and I think that's where people miss the up ramp and the down ramp. They're like, I just want to go faster. I got a wedding in 2 weeks. That ain't what we're doing here.
No.
That isn't how it works. It's not what it's intended for. It's intended to help people who just don't know or can't get out of their own way mentally with food and whatever they like to do. to set the tone for a new life, and then you just kind of work your way in and you work your way out.
Exactly.
And then to your point, you don't just stop with the local low T clinic. You have a full access or carte blanche of future how you want to live your life, and you guys are there to help these folks do that.
Exactly. And we get the insurance thing. Like if some people are like, hey, I have to use insurance. We're here. We're all for it. Like, hey,
Yeah.
use your insurance. We do not need you to use our testosterone. We can help supplement some of the things that they're not going to,
Right.
like the GLP-1s. He mentioned a couple peptides. Like we can do that. Just show us the labs.
Yeah.
That saves you money too.
Yeah.
We're here to help you with auxiliary stuff and supplement. We're a second opinion.
Yeah.
It's just another benefit to us.
So what is like? Where do we find you guys? How do we find you guys?
Yeah. So TRTKingdom.com. You can also look up socials on Instagram. Same thing. You probably see Jay Cutler posting it on his as well. But we'll also be at a local show in Boston, Massachusetts. I'll be with Jay this weekend at his show. We'll see Jason in Greensboro November 8th, and we got shows coming up. So
And, hopefully the goal is to have Jacob Gray have a link for us eventually. So you never know.
Yeah, that's a good plug there. I like that.
That would be real nice.
That was like a forced plug. We'll do that. We are going to do some stuff with TRT Kingdom here at Jacob Gray. I mean, my team has access to it. They're good guys. They've been around my team, and there's a good majority of us that utilize the TRT Kingdom world right now, and it makes us all feel better. It keeps us sharper. We're doing our thing on our end.
Yep.
So trtkingdom.com, is that how it is?
Yep.
trtkingdom.com.
Yes, sir.
And then Instagram is just TRT Kingdom.
TRT Kingdom.
No uppers, lowers, the
No uppers,
undercases.
nothing. Only one.
TRT Kingdom. Got it. So if you guys are looking for us, we're Jacob Gray Firearms _, and then we got TRT Kingdom. There will be some, multi stuff that we're doing together. But man, it's been good to have you guys. Is there anything that we need to do to wrap up on things that you guys want to talk about?
I just want to hit on the fact that we are here. We didn't just go to a bunch of gun companies and, y'all picked us. We did come through, and like I mentioned, I sat down with Jacob in August with Jason and kind of got the full story, and it was like somebody that resembled what Jay's looking for, trying to bring something that's quality and at the right price that's going to treat people right. So I shot 2011s. I shoot, different staccatos, different variants, different polymer, striker fire guns, and Jacob Gray is great. He's gotten me through the Hex. We shot the Hex this weekend, TWC. Just shot the Nox 9. That thing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Can't wait for y'all to see this outside of, YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's phenomenal. Like, it's so flat. It's so smooth. The actual grip itself or the frame is just ridiculous. So these guys are great. So we're here to partner with them, and we're excited.
So my producer's going to love this. Is there any other thing I'm missing since this is episode 1 in the background over there that you want me to hit on? Sweet. I'm glad you guys can't hear what he's actually saying. So I'm gonna show Jason this. So when I was first brought to this opportunity, Jacob and Jason were talking, and they were like, "How can we bring a guy like Jay Cutler, Mr. Olympia, into the world of Jacob Gray, and how can we make it all tie up?" And Jake always says, "Well, if there's somebody that can figure out the connection, it'll be Todd." I remember him telling you that.
Yeah.
So the first thing that came on my list, if you only can see this if you're on the video on the podcast camera, but this T-shirt I wore today is our armored billet, and I thought that this would be the closest thing I can tie Jay Cutler to is our new armored billet system.
Soul Monkey.
Right? Look at that thing.
Yeah.
He's got tattoos of JG. Like,
He'd love it. Yeah.
so if you don't know what armored billet is, I'm going to do my own forced plug. And the forced plug is armored billet. So we, with the new Nox 9, we decided all of our componentry is being made in-house. So all out of billet steel. So our new billet aluminum, our billet kits are billet steel kits. So hammer, sear, all the parts that are, that need to be, done really, really high tolerance stuff. So we designed the billet, armored billet, and came up with this cool little logo. So I think we'll have to get get a picture of Jay with me next time we see him out there in Vegas in a couple of months, and get him standing here next to
real quick, Todd. So
gorilla.
what does the armored billet, like, how does it actually work on the?
So the armored billet, so the Nox right now, so what we find is there is inconsistencies in machining sometimes. Depends on who is supplying parts for who. And what we have done is utilized our high-end machines, our machinos and our aerospace machinery to be able to make hammers and sears. And generally, those are parts that aren't made on a CNC machine. There's other ways to make those that are more efficient, I'd say. But we're actually managing to make those to have perfect engagement every single time. So there's no
That's awesome.
there's no like we might need to fit this. There's no we got to file this because it's just a little bit off. It's literally exactly the same time, same thing every time on our engagement on our sear to hammer fit, which is crazy. Slide stops, everything that we mag releases. So basically it's just it's an upgrade suspension kit for your 1911. So
Okay.
the cool thing about the armored billet was we didn't only add that into the Knox as the new parts, but in all that progress of developing, testing, and machining, I can now retrofit our TWC 9, TWC Black, and
Oh, yeah.
TWC hexes with all billet parts if you wanted to. So it's an upgrade kit that it'll be coming sooner than later, end of the year, probably more on our website. But that was the only way I could figure out how to tie a guy like Jay Cutler, Mr. Studley, all
Mhm.
jacked up with a Jacob Gray firearm, Bugatti running down the street, is to have a big old gorilla
Yeah,
hooked
love
up
it.
with
Swole
the
monkey.
logo, Swole
Mhm.
Monkey.
Yeah.
So that's what you guys thought. I'd take my shirt off.
I was like, hey,
Yeah, I thought,
take it off and let's see what you got.
When I start,
I thought I'd have gave him a six pack.
give me another couple months. I got to keep doing some sit-ups. I golfed yesterday. I'm tender. Ugh. So no, man, it's been glad to have you. I'm glad to have you guys. Been good to have you guys on board.
Yes,
We're
sir.
Still doing. If you guys have any questions out there in the world, I don't know where and when you're going to see this, but reach out to my team or reach out to the TRT team. They can, we can get information back and forth to each other.
So real quick before we get off here, do you want to go through how the process works at TRT Kingdom from the minute you inquire?
Yeah.
You schedule. It's a free consult
Yeah.
that you schedule with one of our consultation specialists. Okay. At that point, it's a quick conversation. They just basically get some medical information from you. They want to make sure that that you feel like this is the right path for you. Okay. They want to answer questions you may have in regards to hormone replacement therapy. If you're someone like me, I'm not going to do a lot of research online, because everything that you research online, you're going to find as many good things to say about it as bad things. And you're going to end up getting really confused. Okay. So you call in, it's a free consult. At that point, we can establish whether you need labs or we can use what you have. Okay. Long story short, labs come back. We schedule you with a provider. Okay. After that provider consultation, you and the provider are going to decide what type of treatments that you want to go with, and if you're healthy for them. And you talk to me, either me or my partner Joe. We get you set up and sent to the pharmacy. It can be as fast as a week from beginning to end. So it's pretty fast.
And shipped door to door. It
Yes.
comes to the door. It's generally in a cold pack from the pharmacy, depending on what you're getting.
Cold pack, discreet, so it doesn't look like you're
Right.
getting anything sketchy or no one's going to want to come steal it.
And if you travel, you have legitimate prescriptions.
Travel with.
Yep, to travel with. I do it personally. Everything's together. You have everything that you need.
Yep.
Whether you're going out of the country or you just travel within the states here.
Yeah, military, law enforcement, first responders, it's all prescription back. So if you need that proof, we'll get it to you, get it to your writing. It's all scripts on the boxes. So
Yep.
coming from that world, I know that's the biggest one is like, am I going to get hemmed up in, military legal system? Like, no, this is legal. This is legit. We know what we're doing. We all come from that world anyway. So we know what you're going to need to be able to prove that this is something that is a necessity to your life. So,
Yep. MD doctor prescribed.
yep.
So
sir.
we are as legit as it gets. I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Both T's, right?
That's it.
The TT,
TRT.
TT. All right, we're out. Nice to have you. Podcast 1 done.
Thanks for tuning in to Gray Matter, the official podcast of Jacob Gray Firearms. We appreciate you taking the time to listen, learn, and be part of the conversation. To stay connected, follow us on social media for the latest updates, new product releases, and behind-the-scenes looks at the world of Jacob Gray. You can also visit us anytime at jacobgrayfirearms.com. Until next time, stay sharp, stay inspired, and as always, thank you and God bless.